How'd the summer go for you?
Quite fast. It was good. Gave us a chance to get around the guys, once a week. Got a chance to get the family kind of moved in and all settled. So it was good.
Yeah. What about the development from spring with your players through the summer to now? Like, what have you kind of seen from them now that they're coming back? How different they look? What's it been like?
That's one. A lot of them, their bodies have changed a little bit in a good way. We have some guys that probably needed to add some weight to them, and we have, obviously some guys that needed to get stronger for a durability standpoint. And I feel like we did a great job. Our strength staff is phenomenal. Benny and those guys did a great job with them. One of the other things that we wanted to do was work a little bit on our flexibility during the offseason. I thought that they helped us out a ton with that as well.
We haven't talked to you since Jordan Addison came aboard. What's he bring to this offense? What makes him so special?
Well, if you can run fast, catch very good, and make people miss, you're usually pretty good at this game. And he does all three really well.
What was your reaction when you found out, him coming here was a possibility?
I guess I really didn't have a big reaction when I found out it was a possibility, because at that point I had still never even spoken to him. Getting a chance when he finally came down on his official visit was really the first time that he and I had ever really had a conversation. So get a chance to get to know him, to know what he was looking for, and to figure out if this was a good fit, and if we could help him accomplish those goals was key to me. And then just kind of get around him and see what he was like as a player. I mean, anybody that watch film or watch college football can see that he's extremely talented. But I think the biggest and the most impressive thing about him is he is a great person. It didn't take very long in being around him to truly understand it.
What stood out about his message to you and what he wanted out of this arrangement?
He just wanted to be successful. He wanted to be in a program where they were going to, have an opportunity to win football games. I think, he's kind of a football film junkie. So I mean, he has some familiarity with some of the guys that was on our roster, and knew how they play, and felt like it can aid in his position and what he does. So I think that was probably the natural, the initial attraction even to us here at USC, and then obviously the tradition that Coach Riley has had in developing quarterbacks aided in that.
You probably weren't watching Pitt games last year. Did you go back and curiously look at some of those tapes?
After right before he was coming on the visit, Coach Schuren and myself went back and looked at every play that he had for the last couple of years, just to once again kind of get a feel and see what you were getting.
When you're looking at guys in the portal, how much homework are you able to do on this is a good guy or this is a guy that could be difficult to watch?
Going through that tape.
Well, that's kind of a two-headed question.
Last year at Texas A&M, we were supposed to play with
If they're in the portal,
and they played
when they
pretty
enter the portal,
familiar with
a lot of times.
when I knew he was coming on.
Finding that film is hard at times. So obviously,
can do a lot.
Stay in there, and you find it. You go through and you evaluate that, and then you try to reach out to the place that they're leaving from to get the obvious elephant in the room questions answered. Hey, why is he leaving? Or
it's been fun, not just with him, with all of our
what's the seed for the change, and then kind of go from there.
And our other coaches generally pretty open.
Yeah, it's a big fraternity, but it's a close situation. So most of the time, especially at this level, if somebody's leaving, you either come across the position guy on the road recruiting, or pass across in some form of fashion. So you call them, like, hey, here's the situation.
obviously we have
group of kids
guys that I've had that in my room that is elected to go
eager
to the
to
portal.
play at USC.
I'll ask them, hey, is there a place to shoot?
It's been pretty exciting.
If it is, I'll reach out to that coach personally and just say, hey, this is who this young man is. He said he's interested in your program. This is my thoughts
Obviously, there'll
on
be some guys
kind of
that
when
when you
comes to Jordan Addison, the thing
a lot of
with
depth,
his
a lot of talent.
teammates that you're talking
But
about
even
is
more fun
speed.
is
I think they even mentioned like
my guys at football is very
anyone
important.
that
And they come to
coach that
meetings
like can match
prepared.
that top
Come
level.
to meetings eager to learn.
you know,
And what a great system.
D.D. Westbrook was extremely fast.
Working
Marquise Brown is
Coach Riley and obviously working with Coach Simmons, who I think is very fast.
there's probably one or two that I'm not rolling at the top of my head. But yeah, I've had the pleasure to work with some guys that
There's a lot that you expect them to kind of move inside, outside.
When you had a guy
I
like
think
that,
that'll be
so you,
good tournament.
the spring, you had a
certainly
group
in
of
the
guys that
sophomores,
came in, transfers, you had guys that were already here. It seemed like the chemistry was really good, everyone got along. You had a Blitnikoff winner, and was there any worry that it would upset the chemistry of that group a little bit?
No, I mean, I guess the only concern and worries that I had was all of the myths and stuff that was put out there that wasn't accurate.
As you mentioned, there had been some many transfers, some big money transfers. When you see the rating of
After meeting Jordan,
is in the mix for you.
You knew
How does that hit?
he was going to bring team that shit and have a chemistry with those guys. Much like the statement I made earlier. Yeah, he's an incredibly talented young man, but he's an even better person, even better teammate. So I mean, after getting the chance to be around him, you knew that wasn't going to be an issue. Some of the stuff that was out of our control that wasn't accurate was more of the stuff that you worried about. Okay, is this going to cause friction
Mix it in with the rest of the team.
in the program?
Did you address any of that with the other
And create a lot of
players who are already
competition.
here?
But ultimately, it's
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like when all of this came out, it was like, oh, he's coming here and he's doing this. And I mean, I called everyone in the position. I'm like, look,
thoughts already? I mean, nothing that would be out of the ordinary of any summer
I don't know if he's
conversations
gonna
as
come
far
or
as
not, but
utilizing the personnel.
this is what's being said. So
there's always gonna be starting
I've always been that type of person that I want to be upfront and open and honest and have that type of relationship with the guys that I work with.
Kyle,
So in that situation was
that was kind of from a running back's perspective. That's a slot.
When the coaches get involved, his former head coach was saying things in the media and stuff. I mean, it doesn't sound like that's the approach you take. What does that have an effect on the players when guys that were under that, like, were mentoring them before, kind of say things in the media like that?
I'm sure it does. I mean, at the end of the day, these are
Coach Riley,
incredibly talented
I was aware of the skill set.
young
but really
men,
when I got him,
athletes.
first
But
time I
in the same token, they're people too. So I mean,
So,
when you attack someone's
it doesn't matter
character
what
and
position.
integrity, especially if you're someone that supposedly is a mentor
joyful personality.
or
fun to
caregiver
be
for
around
them,
players.
of course you would.
Enjoy playing football.
I try really
They play hard, so.
not to harp
Yeah.
on his past with him from that standpoint.
See how he fits in.
Just because
Are you his position coach, do you think, for the most part? What's that?
at this point, what good is going to come
Relate?
out?
Yeah, I think
I don't know his previous head coach.
Yeah.
Don't have a relationship with him, so I mean, for me to try to interpret what his thoughts were or what he was thinking or his intents, would be a disservice to him and a disservice to Jordan because once again, I don't know this situation. So I'm not gonna try to assume what he was thinking. So I just kind of leave it alone. He's here now, and I just let him know how we feel about it.
Where do you think he's going to play most? Inside, outside, moving around, or what's?
There's a lot of people that is going to be looking at a lot of information this fall to kind of figure out how we're going to do it. If I was to answer that question, it would probably make their job a little bit easier. So I'm going to have them stay up and do homework and try to figure that one out. But I do appreciate the question.
Yeah. Is it you guys kind of bob back and forth between you and Luke? It's like players going both ways, or?
Kind of way it works out, is depends on what side of the field you're on. So I mean, if he's on the right side of the field, then he may be with me. If he's on the left side of the field, he may be with Luke.
The group you have, Josh Henson earlier was asked about the strength of the offense, and he mentioned the receivers, the deepest group and stuff. Do you kind of feel like that's the case there with your guys?
And I feel like we're still in that we got to prove it mentality and prove it stage. Do I think we have an abundance of talent? Yes. Do I think we have all the size, the strength, the speed that we need? Yes. But I still think that, who we are as a unit and who we want to become as a unit is yet to be seen. And, that's what fall camp is about. I think the strength of our team is going to be our toughness. And, that's not just going to be dependent on the interior line. We need to establish a physical presence on the perimeter as well, both with the ball and without the ball. So I think camp for us is an opportunity for us to sharpen up a lot of our loose ends from where we left off in the spring and be ready to really be a group that's you're going to have to deal with.
Was springtime even more important than usual, given the makeup of this, the unusual makeup of this roster? So many new guys.
I would say yes to that question, and the reason why I would say yes to that question because, this year for us, we're kind of like an arranged marriage. A lot of these kids.
That's a good way to put it.
A lot of these kids, we didn't sit in their parents' living room and make any kind of conversation as to how we can help their child grow. And on the flip side, a lot of these kids that we worked with in the spring didn't commit to us. So, I think it was an opportunity not for them just to showcase us, what they have and their skill set as players, but it was an opportunity for us to showcase to them who we are as coaches. And, that was an extremely, important time for both of us because in order for us to be the unit and the team that we want to become, we got to depend on each other and we got to trust each other.
Yeah, how much recruiting do you actually do with the kid that's in the portal? Is it, you can't, obviously you can't do the same stuff that you did with the kid coming out of high school because it's a far shorter period.
Yeah, honestly, whether they're in the portal or whether they're coming out of high school now, recruiting from where I started in this business, and this is going to really date me, kind of has changed. It's, kids now kind of have an idea of what they're looking for. And you either fit it or you don't. So, the days of the dating stage and courting them, I think, is kind of becoming a thing of the past. Once again, everybody has their own why for why they're playing at this level and they want to play this game. So, sometimes you're a part of that why and they want to gravitate to you, and sometimes you're not. When you're not, sometimes you get your feelings hurt.
Do you miss
Can't let that happen at this level, right?
Do you miss the romance?
Sort of taking your side.
I miss the establishing genuine relationships. There's a young man that I work with that I'm still actively involved in their life to this day. And, our paths may have crossed in the early 2000s. Nowadays, with the way things can change at the end of a semester at the drop of a dime, you're put in those situations that you can't have that relationship with them anymore. I'll give you an example. Like in taking the job here, kids that was at my previous stop, I can't call them, hey, just to check on them and see how they're doing, because if I did, that would be considered as tampering. I'm not trying to call them to convince them to come here. I'm just, you establish a relationship during that recruiting process where, we spend a lot of hours together. I probably spend more time with the kids that I coach than with my actual kids that I help create. So, in me taking the job here, now you put a bridge there where you theoretically can't speak to me. And, to me, I do miss that because there's still several kids back at that other place that I do wonder how they're doing, on their day-to-day life. I do understand, hey, this time of year last year, they was a little homesick, so I remember having them come to my house and hang out. So they knew that they had a safe place and a home away from their home. There's one that was, it just became a parent. And, you're talking about a 19-year-old kid now becoming a father. So it was like, hey man, here's some advice for you. Your kid, your girl just gave birth. You got your kid with some advice for you on how to handle this situation, how to handle that situation. So I can't call them and be there as a lifeline for them anymore. Yeah, you do miss it. Because once again, coaching is what I do. It's my profession, but I would like to think being a genuine human being is who I am as a person. And you're not allowed to do that. It cuts.
Now it's a business transaction, basically.
Austin Jones said that he liked the fact that there are some opportunities for players to make money, to monetize what they do with NIL. He actually said he did want there to still be a line between amateurism and professionalism. Where do you see this going eventually, and where do you think the sweet spot is between where it should be in terms of what the players generate, but also what the experience is for them?
Where do I see it going? To be honest with you, I have no clue. My personal opinion on it, if a kid can put himself in a financial situation to better help himself and his family, I'm 100% all for it. Now, I understand that not every kid that's in my position or in my position room is gonna financially prosper at this level or have a chance to go financially prosper at the NFL level. So I think the biggest difference between what you see in college and what you see on the NFL level is all 53 of those dudes in the NFL in that locker room, they're getting paid something. Some may be getting paid more than others, but they're getting paid something. Well, the way the model was set up in college, not all 105 dudes in that locker room are going to be getting paid something. Going back to my previous statement, at the end of the day, I want every kid in my room to make more money than I do because I want them to be able to survive, provide, and support their family just like I am for mine. Now, if it's utilizing the sport of football to help set them up, that's great. Let's figure out the way to maximize your opportunity and your talent to put you in a position to do that. If it's not, and there's other ways, let's figure out ways to help you through that as well.
And then just on the field, how did you grade your group out in terms of physicality, blocking, and just kind of the meanness of stuff? And how much ground do you think they need to gain this camp to be ready?
We still got a lot of work. I would say C. I want us to be a group that plays extremely hard, with or without the ball. There was times where we were getting close to that mark, and there was times that we would take a step back. And like I said, that's one of the things that camp will provide us an opportunity to keep maximizing that this fall camp.
With all the talent that you have in the room, is that an area where you think guys may end up separating themselves in terms of that's the way to get on the field?
Of course, that and then consistently being able to maximize your opportunities day in and day out. The thing that it is like, it's not something that we hide. They see the results of what they do from every workout. So, I mean, it's not like it's a secret. It's not like it'll be a conspiracy. They know.
Sorry, guys, I'm going to steal Coach away.
Thank you, Coach.